Door knocking is one of the best ways to show homeowners you're confident, you're market savvy, and you're willing to get them the best pricing on their home, especially if you already have a listing in the neighborhood. That should be stop number one. You want to get good listings, you need to get over this fear of door knocking and face-to-face influence. That moves on straight to these types of video calls where you're confident in getting in front of your client and teaching others how to be successful. Again, learn a few scripts, practice. Your FSBO conversations are going to come in very handy here. You cannot go wrong with some very simple door knocking scripts until you get used to talking to a complete stranger when you're knocking on a door. What's funny about all of you is that every single one of your schools made you sell chocolate bars when you were kids. All of you. Not one of you on this call will tell me you didn't sell chocolate bars or Girl Scout cookies or something like that. You were willing to talk to a complete stranger in front of a grocery store as a kid. What changed? What made you stop being the best salesperson on the planet? Get out of the chair and go talk to a client that can make you potentially upwards of, I don't know, 2, 3, 4, 5% of a listing because they trust in you, and they're going to appreciate that you talked to them cold without some type of introduction. Number 9, once you've picked that farm area, that golden neighborhood that you want to work in, stick to it. It's not going to become a gold mine overnight. You're going to have to dig a little while. You're going to have to prospect for months, potentially years. But again, please remember the ROI on this. It takes one sold listing in a community to pay for years of advertising in that same community. Most agents really like farming. It's a whole lot easier. You send a few mailers. You won't see anything back. You won't know that you're going to throw money down the drain, 100 out to 1 of those postcards that you're building. But you're not wrong in the targeting phenomena. Don't pick large neighborhoods of more than 250, or let me rephrase that. If you pick a large community of more than 250 homes, select specifically 200 or less. Don't go after every house in the neighborhood. Pick a corner of the neighborhood. Footprint can expand from there. Pick an area near the clubhouse, near the amenities, near all of the conveniences of the community if you need to, closest to the Starbucks. Whatever it takes, something that you can grab onto that you'll help sell the homes faster. Use multiple channels of touch so that those people see a postcard from you, get an occasional text message, get a blind letter from you, and sometimes a blind phone call, too, would be nice. You can utilize plenty of print marketing out there. You do not have to be an advertising magnate and spend all your time and money learning how to be an advertising marketing expert. You could just use something someone else has. Put your name and your logo on it. If you get up a little bit of money where you can do some full event hosting, do a pumpkin patch or a 4th of July barbecue in the neighborhood and invite the neighbors. If you're looking for a full breakdown of real estate farming, you need to call us and you need to talk to us directly. Again, we've got some inside subscription courses that you can talk to us about that really help you dive into some direct ideas on what you have to do. Number 10, focus on your mission, your vision, and your values. I'm going to throw you back to what kind of real estate agent are you up here? This is a great course to help you define who you are and what type of niche you should be running after. If you're a regular, close subscriber, you're probably sick of me saying this, but focusing on your mission, vision, and values should be your priority even before you're thinking about getting the listing. If you don't know who you are and you don't know what kind of business you're running, how the hell are you going to promote yourself in front of a client? I realize you've probably done this work already. You may want to revisit your MVV if you want more listings, but take a step back. Really think it through. How are you uniquely positioned to help sellers in today's market? If they just want somebody to open doors and walk through transactions, they can literally hire anyone. But working homeowners is much more complicated as a listing agent You need to be the best in brand. You need to have a broker that is supportive. You need to have a brokerage that is not afraid to represent you and that makes you look good. They are present when you're not, so they can make absolutely sure that if a client needs to make a phone call and you are busy with another customer, they have someone to reach out to, and they're going to get the best of the best answers that bring the client right back to the table with you and elevate that confidence in the conversations that they're having. A homeowner's choice of a real estate agent is typically driven more by what you offer and how your services benefit them. You can't be everything to everyone. That's why focusing on your MVV is a crucial step in making sure the right sellers are resonating with you and want to hire you. Yes, there's a lot of profiling involved in this. If you are older, you may work better with older people because they're relatable. If you are younger, you may work better with younger people because you're relatable. If you are middle-aged or a family person or a car lover, again, those are your people. Try to find the easiest connection. That doesn't mean that's the only real estate agent you are. That means that's your go-to audience, that those are the ones that you should naturally get the most support from because they're kind of like you. Pro tip, carve out a few hours every single weekend and really think through what value you can offer your sellers. These are not buyer conversations. Sellers need to understand what's your mission. What do you do? Put this down where they can see it. And when you drop your leave behind materials, your MVV should be a single page by itself. I don't care if it's just 3 words, but your mission, your vision, your values for how you are the best agent for them is what's going to make the biggest impact to your relationship. Number 11, send out some postcards. I know it's cumbersome to design these. I know it's a pain to write up the addresses. There are plenty of services that can do this for you, but do it. If you're going to use a golden neighborhood technique and a style of marketing, you have to have your presence in front of the client. And yes, I'm going to say it this way. Put your picture on the postcard, because when they see you walking through their neighborhood, if you door knock, if they get a phone call from you in the blind, they want a face to associate with the voice. It makes you relatable. And yeah, wear something fun. Sorry, you're not going to be able to do door knocking in the state of Florida in your real estate suit. It's not going to happen. Wear something comfortable. God knows we've got enough golf courses, so we've got enough sporting goods stores that sell nice golf clothes. You still want to look sharp. You still want to understand that you're at work, and that should present a presence in the way you're dressing for success. But when you're knocking on the door, it's realistic for you to have just a lightweight polo. Ladies, you too, a lightweight polo and something that's not too revealing so that clients aren't afraid to work with you or aren't afraid to let their husband or wife talk to you. Men, if you're incredibly attractive, dress it down a little bit, gentlemen. You do not want other men in the house having a problem with you talking to their wife about selling their home. You just don't. Number 12, open houses. They are back, and they are back with a vengeance. Why? Because there's a stigma that open houses sell houses. They don't. They simply don't. The numbers have never supported it. They are a value to the real estate agent, and they are a value to the homeowner because they feel like their real estate agent is working. It's crazy how this stigma has gotten out there, but if I don't do an open house for you and your house is on the market for 6 days, obviously as a real estate agent, I'm not doing anything to be successful in representing your home. They're not taking into consideration that if I do and I spend the money and I spend the time on an open house, that they may not see very many people show up. Feel free to come to my other class on how to make open houses successful and how you market them in advance and not these last minute drops on the internet, and so that you can just shut your client up. Not okay. But converting open house visitors, that is a very real scenario for those of you that are out there trying to lead generate. If there is a strategy that agents love to hate, it's open houses. Many of the listing agents don't even bother. Brand new agents think they're a waste of time, but they haven't experienced them yet. One group adores open houses, and it's nosy neighbors who own the nearby homes. So again, if you're prospecting in a golden neighborhood, this is exactly what you want. This is your go-to audience. I know what you're thinking. The odds of having a neighbor who needs to sell their house tomorrow showing up at your open house is slim to none. But this strategy means you meet homeowners that are immediately in that neighborhood. It is the perfect excuse for you to test your scripts, for you to talk about real estate. And more than that, you're going to meet all of your neighborhood experts that are going to be against you when you're busy trying to sell other houses. Still not convinced? Open houses are a fantastic way of getting a listing. I'm here to tell you a large percentage of the listings that I have had have come from open houses in that same community. Open houses have always been an opportunity to pick up a buyer or two and to pick up even more listing opportunities. I wish I had thought about it in a better way or had been mentored in a way when I first got into my career that I did it more often, that I would enjoy it more. And even if you're stuck in a slow open house because it's in an area that doesn't get a lot of traffic or you got rained out or something like that, sit down in your open house, whip out the laptop, get some other work done, do some cold calling while people are walking in, seeing you're busy talking about real estate. But get off of the TikTok unless you're actually doing marketing and advertising while you're there too. Number 13, use a listing appointment checklist and scripts to help seal the deal. I don't care if you are the LeBron James of generating seller leads. They are not much use to you if you can't close them and actually list the house. That's why learning the art and the science of running a listing presentation can help persuade you and persuade them that hiring you is an essential practice. A few steps for delivering a great listing presentation. Make sure you know as much as possible about the listing itself and the comps in the neighborhood. The immediate, newest, latest, and greatest comps in the neighborhood. Create a listing marketing plan. You may not have to execute against everything on your plan, but the fact that you have one and know what skill set you need to execute against those is crucial. Practice, practice, practice. Rehearse your presentation until you can deliver it smoothly and confidently on camera in front of anyone. Learn the most common objections that sellers have to working with agents and use the objection handlers that we've discussed in previous classes to address them confidently. And number 5, your team leader or your mentor should be invited to help shadow, and you should bring them on as many listing appointments as you can. You may have to cut them in to the profits, but the experience they can add, and by helping you get that warm close to a hot close, is going to make a huge difference to you. Lots of strategies out there. There are 100 different ways of how you're going to be able to change and relate better to listing clients and help you get those in there. Don't be afraid to reach out. Throw them in the comments below. Make sure that we understand that here's something that is or isn't working in your community. Maybe we can have a conversation and turn you into the very best of the best as well.